A scorching end to winter with widespread heat around the country in coming days, including the chance of winter records across multiple states for maximum temperature. Now, it's been warm already for a few days, but that heat will intensify and spread further. Here's a map showing Thursday afternoon's temperatures, today's temperatures, but we're only highlighting areas that are 30 degrees and warmer. Now, normally at this time of year, you would see a smattering of 30 degrees across the northern parts of the country, but to see that heat plunge so deeply into central Australia, that is unusual for August. Now let's overlay the temperatures and we'll see mid-30s from central Queensland across to central WA, including all of NT and northern parts of South Australia. Outside of that, temperatures are above average across eastern Queensland and New South Wales and most of WA, but closer to average across the far south of the country, with a couple of gusty winter cold fronts moving through. Into Friday now, and we'll see that heat intensify even further. In particular, I want to draw your attention to this bubble of warmth here around northern SA and southern parts of the NT. Temperatures in this area could be as much as 15 degrees above their average for this time of year, and that's going to put us in range to get close to or possibly exceed some winter temperature records around the likes of Oodnadatta in northern South Australia with a forecast of 38 degrees. Parts of the Northern Territory to see 35 or 36, parts of southwest Queensland to see 36 degrees as well. Other parts of the country remain relatively unchanged for Friday, with temperatures above average for most eastern states. Into the weekend, this heat is not really going anywhere, potentially just moving a little bit further to the east as we see some of that warmer weather move into Queensland. We can also start to see the darker contouring coming in across northern WA as temperatures are really set to skyrocket across northern parts of the state, including a 39-degree forecast in Kununurra. We'll see some 37s around South Australia, Queensland and potentially the Northern Territory, and again other places not quite that hot but still anywhere between 2 and 8 degrees above average, from about Townsville all the way down to Melbourne, putting most places in the 20s. Western parts of the country a touch cooler as we move into the weekend. Finally, we're going to round out this map by looking at Sunday, and again potentially just sliding a little further eastwards into Queensland and New South Wales, and again heat continues to intensify up around this area here. Now on the map we've got a 37 and a 39, but I would not rule out the chance of one or two sites seeing 40 degrees during the weekend in northern WA. That is uncommon in August no matter where you are in the country. Elsewhere across Australia, I want to draw your attention to this region here. Mildura 29 degrees in northern Victoria. That could well get very close to or potentially exceed a record for the warmest winter temperature recorded anywhere across Victoria. Now I've only put this map out to Sunday, but a couple of quick words about next week, because this heat is going to continue and affect a few new areas. For example, Brisbane next week for the first few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days in a row with a forecast of 30 degrees or higher. We could see Sydney seeing 27 degrees next week, parts of Victoria well and truly into the mid-20s, many other areas continuing to run well above average. So it's clear it's going to be hot. What are some of the impacts of this heat? Well, it is only August. We're not yet into the fire weather season for most of Australia, but with this combination of hot, dry and at times windy weather, we will see widespread moderate to high fire danger across Australia in the coming days, and potentially that weather could also kick up some areas of dust around central parts, particularly northern parts of South Australia. Some of you might already be asking when this heat is coming to an end. Well, in the far south, Tasmania, Victoria, southern Western Australia, a few fronts will bring colder air from time to time over the coming week, and temperatures will be up and down. But if you live north of Sydney or north of Perth, it's going to stay fairly warm for most of the coming week, and we don't anticipate a broad scale stretch of cooler weather impacting Australia until the end of next week. So 7, 8, 9 days away before we start to see these hot temperatures drop off the maps. You can always find your forecast and of course your temperature forecast at the Bureau website and app. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.